Yo, what is up guys? This is Astranox and I'm back with another Tales of Erin video, and this is a guide, a review of Nefeeru. She is a 4-star fire-based character in the game, and she's easily obtainable and very powerful. She is right now Origin Awakened +3, so her stats are increased, but if you only have one of her, uh, don't count the stats that are in green. And for a crit damage and restoration and defense, you can remove those. And here's the skills that here's the build that I'm using for her right now. First, this thing increase the attack of the party by 30% for 25 seconds, and the cooldown is 38 seconds. This is false. This buff lasts 25 seconds and the cooldown is 25 seconds from what I see in game. It does get reduced, so I don't know why it says 38 seconds here. You'll see it in action. Here, this is her healing. It is 12% heal of the healing of your max HP, you and everyone in the group, and I think it's 350% attack power as 350% healing based on attack power, and it has a 100% chance to dispel 2 debuff when it's maxed out. I'll show you after, but I'll tell you why I'm running this in a second. This is a passive to increase the attack of fire characters in the party. It goes up to 30%. And this thing is really great. When using skills, there is a 100% chance to gain 100 Asia presence points. So when you're playing at the bottom right, you got the Divinity power, and you need to build up 1,000 Asia presence points to activate it. And like 100 Asia presence points is 10%. So whenever she uses the attack of the party buff every 25 seconds, well, that is 10% right there instantly. And so is the healing every 20 seconds. That is another 10%, and it builds up real quick, and you can use it much before everyone else, and you can use it multiple times in battles. It is really great. So the reason I'm running this is because, well, I need this for offense to use the Divinity as fast as possible. I need this to buff up the group, and I believe this might be a multiplicative, and this one is a buff that is additive. It's like whatever you get from your gear, that's plus attack for the party. It seems to just be added on top, versus this one might be multiplicative. I need to do some more testing to be sure, but this is what it looks like. I could be wrong, and if I am, you just max out this thing. First thing you do is, if you're early game, if you're starting the game, you definitely want to max out this heal, of course. You want to do 1 pointer in this, and then, well, if it is additive, early game doesn't really matter. You don't have that much attack or any attack at all, so you could just have this one. But since this one actually activates after 25 seconds, which means it's pretty much up permanently, same as this. Initially I was like, this is 38 seconds, it's not up. Like the uptime is I don't know, like 70% of the time, 70% uptime, let's say 65% uptime. This is 100% uptime. So yeah, I need to test it more. But healing, very strong. Max this thing, but put 1 point in there first, and then max this. And then this one is not good with 1 point. You need to really max this thing for to get the full potential of this thing, because yeah, I mean, before that is like 5% chance to get 10 Asia presence point or something like that. It is real bad. It could be 5% to get 100 points, but still, it's only 5%. That's not much. So yeah, this one first, and then 1 point here, then work on the healing, and either max this or this. But I was running actually with this maxed out, this maxed out, and this maxed out. The first three, and I had this at nothing, 0, but I saw that it was very powerful, so I decided to use it, and I changed my build this way. And I could expand here at a one of these and just max out the healing and have my build running like this. So yeah, for equipment, you just want her with a bunch of supporting costumes. You want stuff like this that buff up your party's attack. First of all, you need to be running a mono fire team. Unless you're early on and you don't have fire characters, if you only have her, Alvin, and some other 4-star like Lotus Moon, amazing, and maybe you have one 5-star. Maybe you get a Rabis on after 8-day login event or after 25 day of login, but at that point you'll have some 5-stars. But maybe you farm for Chloe. Chloe can tank, Garcia can tank. Anyways, you can check my other guides, but yeah, early on, I mean, at any point in the game really, you want to have team buffing items on her. You like attack for a party, your skill bonus like this has skill bonus of crit rate of fire character in the party increased by 4%, and the next one, well, it's not useful, but attack of wind character plus 15%. Those are bonus skills and they are active, so pay attention to that. When you see an item that has nice bonuses, well, use it. If it buffs up, if the skill buff up your team. This is a tier 4 item. You see in Roman numbers it is IV, this means 4. This is tier 3, you see 2 I's. And this one is a tier 3 and has no bonus skill that affects my team. This thing is only tier 2, but it's easy, it was easy to get, so I mean I got a multiple of those, so I broke through with other ones that had no good skill bonus, and I brought it to level 100, and you can see the stats are stronger than all the other costumes that I have on her. So it does buff up her health and her attack more than the other ones, but those are self buffs. And this thing, well, increase the crit of the characters in the team, and it roll with double skill bonus that affect my team. HP of fire character in the party plus 3%, and attack of fire characters in the party 5%. And you can also convert here and use a gold hammer, but these are very precious, so do not waste those. Do not waste the gold hammers. I repeat, do not waste the gold hammers. So use those on tier 4 items or tier 5 items. Unless, I don't know, you're rolling in gold hammers, you're balling, you know, you don't give a damn, and you just want to drop them hammers on them costumes. All right, so yeah, so she's really good. I'll show you Nefeeru in action in a second. Here's her story. You can pause if you'd like to read it, and I will show you this. This is her running, and this is her doing her first skill, the buff. Now she's auto attacking, and this is her healing. This is her ultimate. All right, now this is the team that I'm running. This is an offensive team to farm Wind Hell Massive Battle. I have Wulian in front. I got Mao as my first, my main damage dealer. Wulian is counter attacking all the time. I got Lotus Moon, that's 4-star, and Nefeeru, that's 4-star. Lotus Moon is a sharpshooter. She's a damage dealer and she's great. I'll review her in a second. But yeah, Nefeeru, look at the stats here. The health is very low, very low. It's dangerously low actually for what I'm doing, but I'm fighting a wind monster, a wind boss, and fire counters wind, so I'm fine in that department. I can survive the battle. Now Nefeeru, since she has, this is really important guys, Nefeeru has lower defenses compared to other characters. Compare her, well, she's a caster and she has more, but she's 5-star. Look at the defenses, not the plus in green. It's 1170. This is really not much. Look, she's 4-star as well. Lotus Moon is range, and she's got close to 2000. Garcia is the tank in the fire-based tank in the, well, fire element. And Wu Lian has a decent amount of defenses, but not as much as Garcia or Chloe. And Mao is a caster and she's got 2000 almost. So as you noticed, well, Nefeeru is really low in defense, and you have to account for that when you're building your team. You need to give her more health than the other casters and damage dealers in the back if they have more defenses, because she will just get 1-shot or 2-shot in during some fights, and you don't want that. You want her to be alive. You want her to heal your team. You want her to buff up your team. You want her to help you build up that divinity presence as soon as possible. And you can run her with a healing divinity if you need that extra healing during boss fights. I have plenty of gameplay videos if you want to see that in action in hard and extreme mode. And yeah, if you want more offense, you just go with an offensive divinity. And yeah, so don't forget to buff up her health. Now for equipment, this is okay, team buffing stuff, yeah, it's all good, but you should definitely have a self-buffing HP item on her. And I'll give you an example. This is HP for the whole team. Increase 18% for every fire character in the party. It has a bonus skill of 7% attack for fire characters in the party. Now this thing has no bonus skill that is applied to fire characters, but it has 72% HP increase for fire characters. This has 84% increase in HP for fire character. This is a self buff, guys. Put it on her, and now party, you see she jumped way up, 11,254. She had what, 8,000? So now she's on par with almost Mao and Wu Lian, but she actually needs more health. If you're doing a battle and all your team's taking 50% damage, let's say your Mao is taking 50% damage, the casters in the backline, the DPS are in the backline, while Nefeeru will take, they take half, she will take 3/4 of her health, and she won't survive the next hit, you know? So be mindful of that. Go buff up her health. Let me just change it to the way it was. I'm just going pure damage increase. This is, everything here is to buff up. Well, she as well is supporting, you know, that she has, you can pause. She has items to support the team as well. And Wu Lian, well, I went with damage item on her because I love how much damage she can do with the counter attack. And Mao is my main damage dealer because she has her soul costume, her spirit skills, and yeah, I mean, self-buffing crit, self-buffing attack all around. Same thing with Wu Lian for some extra damage, and I'll show you that in action. And I have the right party selected, so let's go and show you guys. Party full, great. Alright, so look at Nefeeru, right? She will use her healing. She's the third character at the bottom. Alright, now, okay, she used the heal right there. That's her ultimate. Sorry, that's not what I want to say. She used her first skill just now. But if you look at the presence, the meter that's building up at the bottom right, you see it's 47% now. She's gonna use her healing soon. Now look, this attack buff is on. 30% attack, 25 seconds. She's gonna use her heal. Look, A went up 10%, boom. Now look, her first kill, the buff is about to be ready. The buff is still on everyone. Look, the sword with the up arrow in yellow. Look now, it's about to be ready. Boom, it's out, it's off. Now it's ready again. You see, the thing lasts 25 seconds and she applies it again. Now the presence is up, Divinity. Boom, I pop it. If I did not have her second passive maxed to get 100 Asia presence points, I would not be able to use the Divinity in this battle because the battle is too short. So it is super important, and this Divinity increases the attack of your characters by 40% when you use it. So yeah, I mean, early game this is huge because you don't have too much attack on your team, and this seems to be additive and not multiplicative. So I'm going to actually use a different Divinity and try things out with another one, because it seems like I'm not in early game anymore. This looks like to be the same game. I'm not in early game anymore, and I should be trying the other Divinity. So I'm gonna just create a game here. I'll make one more of this, and then I'll show you the Azure Tower and the Guild Azure Tower. I have close to 300,000 power. This is using 2 4-stars, and I mean, if I had the passive on Nefeeru to boost the attack of the party, fire characters in the party, it would bring me to 300,000. With Garcia, I have like 320,000 team power, or 325,000, because he buffs up the whole team's attack by 50%. Now Lotus Moon, here she went and she did a reduction in defense on boss by 30%, and this is huge for the damage here. Nefeeru heals, Wulian needed that. Wulian's just countering like crazy. Mao's doing insane damage with her ult. She's got a fire elemental helping her. It's attaching 2000 damage on her auto attack, 70% chance to happen. He does those fire pillars, just extra damage there. Divinity is ready. Popping that. Now I've got here this buff. Look, Divinity went up. It happens at the start of the cast, not when the healing land. Increase attack 30% coming from Divinity, you see? And also the attack interval is almost halved when I pop this Divinity. So it is great damage increase. If you play the game on manual, you can turn off auto, so they don't use their ultimate for 10 seconds after using the Divinity. That's a trick. And then you can turn back auto on after that's done. And it's gonna do more for you or your team. You can use their first skill because there's no animation for that. I mean, there's no pause like, or cutscene or whatever. So yeah, that's the battle. As you can see, this whole setup deals a ton of damage. I'm going in the guild. Azure Tower, floor 522. Now I took out some health. I don't know, I could be wiping here actually. I really don't want to wipe because I'm using an offensive setup. I mean, taking some health out is not what I should have done for this, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Oh, there's some casters in there. This is not looking good. Anyways, look, she's healing here. Her healing is not even 10. She would heal for like 1.6% more if she actually had the healing maxed out. And it would clear 2 debuffs guaranteed. Not damage over time, guys. Damage over time cannot be removed from Nefeeru. This is very important to know. Every like those toxin or any damage over time that gets applied on you does not get removed from her healing. The spell is to remove a defense down. It's to remove an attack down debuff coming from the enemy, but not a damage over time. There are a couple heroes in the game that have a spell especially used, specifically used for removing damage over time debuffs on you. So pay attention to those. You can go in the character album. I don't know the name of those by heart. I would have to go there and show you, which I can probably do after this. But for fights where there's damage over time on you and you cannot sustain the damage that you're receiving, you could just go and run the healing Divinity alongside Nefeeru and have some great success there. It will lower your damage, but I mean you will actually stay alive, because if you're dead, you're not doing anything. You're just dead. All right, so Shiro dispels damage over time. You see, active AGF. Yep, that dispels damage over time. There is Yuna. No, sorry. This is not Yuna. It's Reniscan. Reniscan says deals 2600 water damage to all enemies and dispel all debuff on the casters, then make the party invulnerable, immune to any status and damage for 10 seconds. You can time this if you can see the animation of the monster, the boss, whatever, that he's about to land that damage over time and pop this thing just before, so you're immune to it. There is... Wait a second. No, this is a damage dealer. Oh yes, there is in light Angelina. Dispel damage over time. Dispel 1 damage over time. Yeah, there might be other one. I can't remember right now. I don't want to drag this video too long. Here, Nefeeru. So you can see her healing, 12% of max HP and 360% of attack power. But the bigger portion will pretty much always come from the max HP, because I don't think the attack power... I mean, you're not running self buffing attack item on her, you're running team buffs, because that's the whole point. She's a support character. You're just buffing her health if she struggles with survival. Attack increase attack of fire characters 30%, and 30% here too. Still need to know if this seems additive. This could be multiplicative. Still need to test more, but this is, as you saw, 25-second cooldown, same as how long this thing lasts. I don't know why it says 38. I don't know, but anyways, now you know, and you're better informed, and you can make proper decisions this way. What else can I cover? What else? You could have her. You could have Garcia tank in front. You can have Chloe tank in front, with her in the back, with Mao in the back, with Rabbit. You could have 1 tank in front and 3 range character in the back. It depends on what you're doing. You always have to like use different teams if you have the heroes, but always stay like, run a mono team of the same element. Don't like use a bunch of elements unless you need a specific spell from a character that's just gonna make you have very good survival. And at that point, I mean, if you can just survive the encounter because of that ability, might as well roll with it, because I mean, if you didn't have that character, you would just wipe. So alright, so her attack is lower than the other characters. Like I said, I mean, the bigger portion of the healing comes from the max HP. I would have to recheck that again, but that's what it looked like for the majority of the time. Whenever I paid attention to that, it was like 2,400, let's say, for a max HP heal, and it was like the portion for the heal, it was like 400 based on attack power. I mean, I could be wrong. There, and you could test it out or check the gameplay video before that. But it could be because the character was already at max health, that it did not receive more than, let's say, 400. Maybe that's why. I would have to go check it out. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I mean, I make a bunch of gameplay videos, guides, and how-tos for this game. So yeah, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, just like look them up. You might enjoy them, maybe learn something. And yeah, I post a lot of videos, so subscribe if you're interested to keep up with the latest stuff. All right, thanks again for watching. I'm out for now. Peace. Oh wait, costumes. Top costumes for her. You would go with some team buffing stuff, like this is tier 4. Fire Tome of Origin. You can farm this. Actually, no, you cannot farm the team buffing ones. The self-buffing one you can farm in massive battles, in the fire massive battles, in hard difficulty or hell. Hell has a better drop chance, but of course it's harder. This you can craft. I've crafted one of those. And these amazing tier 4 gauntlets, these Fire Claw of Origin, I've crafted 2 of those. 40% attack for your whole fire team when it's skill 10. Amazing, amazing. So you could run, it depends what you're doing. You could run one of this, and then you'd run like a HP buffing one, like this, a self buff one, because her defense is too low. If you're doing just pure offense and she's not taking enough damage like I was doing in the wind massive battle, just go pure offense on her for your whole team. Just run like if I had 3, I would run 3, but you could go 2 of those, right? And you'd run, I think, is it these farm? Yeah, some like this Fire Master Rifle. That's tier 3 though. There we go, tier 4. You'd run something like that. I don't even know how much crit you can gain from those. Like, as you can see, I don't even have the tier 3 or the tier 4 of those. But yeah, looks really OP. I mean, this is the top end stuff. Nirvana, this is not even in the game yet. I mean, the registration just opened for Nirvana stuff. Star World Nirvana and Star World Clash. So yeah, this is just crazy. This is perfect. Buffs her own HP and buff up the attack of fire characters in the party. Just godly. Prime is getting those. I'm sure it's gonna be a pain. All right. So yeah, run team buffing stuff and run self buffing HP. Or maybe you can survive and maybe you run double of those, or the lower tier. These 2 of those attack. It also depends on what bonus skill you roll on them. Maybe you got some self-buffing HP bonus skill, and that's enough to make her survive. So yeah, just balance your stats, guys, but work on buffing one damage dealer like Mao, because she's got her spirit skill. And maybe have Wu Yan getting some self-buffing stuff, as well as getting the benefit of all these items on Nefeeru or whatever other 4 character you're running. Yeah. So also you could run her alongside Petralia that got released yesterday. So she's gonna be great. She's a single target healer. She attached a barrier that absorbs damage equal to 25% of the character's HP. It's just crazy. But if you need team healing, you need Nefeeru. But you could run double healer in there if you need the healing, and if your tank's taking a ton of damage, or if you want to run with Wu Yan, because she buff ups the defenses of the whole team by 60%. 30% here. Reduce their attack interval 2. Great damage increase. Very great damage increase. And defense is 30% here. So the 60% defense increase, just insane. Increase attack as well, 30%, and reduce cooldown of all skills by 6% for the whole party. Just next level overpowered. Attack has 50% chance to reduce cooldown of all skills by 2 seconds. This is for herself. And yeah, I mean, just you can run her alone if there's some team damage going on. Just bring Nefeeru in. If there's too much damage, bring Petrolia alongside her if you're lucky enough to have her. And yeah, just mix and match, just play around, try some stuff, and just have a good time, guys. That's pretty much the goal here. All right, so I'm out for now, for real. All right, peace.